Hello, everybody. Just getting things set up here. There we go. Hey, everybody over on TikTok, Vox, Kitty Cat, Abby Normal, Sam. Welcome, welcome. Come on. There we go. Perfect. And hopefully the audio is coming in good. We got a new microphone, so I can hopefully run the AC. And it's not a nightmare on your ears either. So let me know in the chat how that's sounding for you guys. Would love to hear your thoughts. Hopefully this fixes a lot of issues I was having earlier. Gotta add that. All right. Audio is good. TikTok is acting weird. TikTok always acts weird when I try to do it through OBS. So honestly, what we might end up doing is kick TikTok out of OBS and do it on the phone. 'Cause, yeah, I'm looking at the live stream too, and it looks like I am frozen, which is never good. That is a shame. Yeah, I'm seeing exactly what you're seeing. Thank you so much. It stinks when that doesn't work. I wanted to try to do it again because I got the mic and I wanted to make sure that people could actually. Yeah. It's just saying retry. It still says I'm live, which is good. Oh man, it is just not great over on TikTok. I don't know if like I don't know if this is a TikTok issue or an OBS issue. Either way, they got to get their shit together because it's annoying as hell. YouTube's working. Thank you, Christopher. Yeah, something's going on with TikTok and not being things. So I think we're gonna close out the TikTok live, and we are going to. You guys get to watch the behind the scenes of me setting up live stream on the phone, which is not super exciting, but hey. Also, welcome back, Christopher. It's good to see you again, or at least see your name pop up in the chat. Let's see what we got. What we got? Let's see if we can. Tag. What is this? Do it now. Nope, we are not using any stupid effects. All right. There we go. And live on another device. And now, because that's being dumb. There we go. And now we're going live there as well. Fantastic. And TikTok is now officially live again. Just actually working this time. So hopefully things will work out there. Viewers have joined your fan club. And we also have my notes. Hell yeah. We actually got stuff to talk about tonight. The only thing I gotta find out on OBS is if I can add a little thing that says, this is what we're talking about. That is the one thing I have yet to find in OBS. Can I add element? Hi, kitty. Yes. I still gotta do some setup, guys, so thank you for bearing with me. And hanging out while we get this set up. Did I hit? Oh, I guess I gotta browse the gallery over on OBS for stream elements. Theme packages, labels. Here we go. I really gotta do this when I'm not streaming. That would be so much better. Hey, Matt, over on TikTok. Welcome. Let's roll into it. Like, I can't find labels, but we're just going to chat because that's how we do things. Do it on the fly and go. So one of the things I wanted to talk about today, guys, is what it means to be an artist. Like, the title of being an artist. So, like, what does that mean to you guys? Like, why? Oh, let me actually scroll to the top of it. There we go. That's where I was hoping. I guess what I wanted, like, when did you first feel comfortable calling yourself an artist? If you do, and if you don't yet, what is the defining moment that you think will allow yourself to call yourself an artist? Because it's a very heavy question, but it's very important, I feel, to those of us who create. I know, Christopher, I know you just started kind of your creative journey, which, again, amazing. Like, what would it take for you to start calling yourself an artist? Hey, everybody over on TikTok, Victoria just left. Great. Bye. Hey, Shrek, I do remember you because I know you told me not, don't worry about pronouncing your name because I was horrible at it. But good to see you in chat, man. That is awesome. Welcome back. It's been a while since you caught one. So yeah, we're talking about what it means to be an artist, and specifically the title of an artist. And I realize not everyone might call themselves an artist, especially if they're depending on where you're at in your life, if you're still in school and everything. But what would be the defining moment that would make you call yourself an artist? I know for me, I was very much wasn't willing to call myself an artist until at the very earliest I graduated school. Um, I went to school for art education, got a secondary degree, and then it was like, okay, I can at the very least, I'm making art full regularly. I might not have been creating art for galleries at the time, but I was definitely creating a lot. I was drawing, eventually moved into painting. So I know for myself, the earliest that I would have even considered using the term artist for myself would have been one after I graduated. Shrek, love being present and great you remember me. Not a problem, let's go. I am not an artist, but I enjoy art in your videos and you usually get a B minus at art, and it is okay. And that's awesome. And I think at the end of the day, that is something I know for myself and a lot of creatives here on these social media platforms, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Twitch. There are a lot of people who draw and create and paint, and they stream it on these platforms and they share it to social media. And I think a lot of times these people don't feel like they're an actual artist. They're just a hobbyist. And art as a hobby is so cool. That's totally fine. If you enjoy creating, awesome. I'm not going to yuck your yum, but if you are doing art in any capacity, I think you may consider yourself an artist. Like I said, you may not personally, but I feel the act of creating in and of itself is indicative of being an artist. There's a lot of prestige and a lot of weight behind that word of artist and what it means to a lot of people that not all of us are ready to be like, yes, that's me. Yeah, because like when I was growing up, when I was doing a lot of this stuff just in school, yeah, I like to draw. I like to create stuff. Like, that's kind of what I did all throughout school, like primary school, middle school, high school. Like, I was just like, this is a thing that I would like to make into a career, but at the time, it was not, I was not a professional yet. And I think maybe it's not necessarily the delineation between artist and not an artist, it's hobbyist versus professional. And I think that's something that, again, we get hung up on. That's so much better. We're also redrawing some of the Reaper character today because I was not liking the way the robes were falling on him, by the way. So we are adjusting the robes today to make it fit a little better with the character, give it a few more layers, give it a little more depth that I don't think it had, especially when my royal character, we'll angle in TikTok a little bit. The royal character is looking so good. The 2-layered robes with the gold trim, the teal and the red upper. It looks so crisp right now, and I love it. And my Reaper was just not hitting all the right notes for me. So I really wanted to dial in the Reaper's cloak today to really sell it. Yeah. But we're looking good. We're looking good. Come on, TikTok. Where are you guys at? Oh, we got one. We got Dumb Metal Kid 42. Thanks for sticking around. Welcome to the stream over on TikTok land. Happy to have you. For those of you who are curious, thank you, and I do agree with you. I am interested in your art. Do you sell NFTs? Yeah. You've seen the videos. I know you have. Because you even commented on the one with the punching joke. Yeah, obviously not. I think, but also like I think that's another key point of like people wanting to call themselves an artist and a milestone. I think that is really good is selling art and like, hey, I'm not an artist until I sell my first piece, and I can see that. I can understand the rationale there, but I feel it's more than just, hey, I sold a piece, so now I'm an artist. I mean, I think that is awesome, but I've also seen some people who like do art as a hobby, draw on stick figures, and it's like I don't know if I'd consider them an artist, and that's me being that's part of that elitist mentality coming back in. I feel like I'm prone to it as well. But yeah. But again, I think that's a benchmark for some people that they have. I see we got 2 people on TikTok. If you are watching on TikTok and one of those 2 people, feel free. Hey, we got Sup Dad, Sup Art Kid. I'm assuming you're Art Kid. I assume you enjoy doing art. Jace dropping the likes there on TikTok. Much appreciated. We're talking about what it means to be an artist, or at least using the title of artist in like a professional capacity. And if you are an artist, I would love to hear what that defining moment was for you that you were like, yes, I'm an artist. And this is now the moment that I can confidently say that out loud. Yes. So, again, if you are lurking, I know I got a few lurkers on the stream, and that's totally cool. I'm not gonna tell you to join in, but again, if you are an artist or a creative in any capacity, yeah, yeah, play. I'm not gonna take requests to say random sentences because I'm not that person. So no, no thanks. So if you want someone to say that, find another streamer, man. Because I don't do requests to say random phrases. Sorry. I've learned that there are way too many people who are malicious enough and idiotic enough to take some of that stuff and do some not so nice stuff. So, sorry, Play 157. Find another streamer for that because I'm not that person. Oh, man. Sharpening time. Hopefully, if you are on TikTok, you can at least hear me. I was having some trouble with OBS and having it connect over there. So it was giving me a bunch of issues. So hopefully everything's working really well right now. But sadly, you just don't get the microphone connected to it. Come on. Sorry, everyone. Just making sure I've got things all kind of squared away over on my end. There we go. Okay. But yeah, Shrek over on YouTube. As far as the NFTs, that video on TikTok is doing really good. Just hit over 1,000 views on that. Not my highest though. That would have been my video from Monday. Got over 2,400 views, which is still kind of insane to me. We are gonna get that in a better view for TikTok. All right, there we go. I think we're good to go. Lady Sanddragon over on TikTok, welcome to the stream. But yeah, let's get my notes back up. But yeah, like I said, I think for me, the first time I actually considered even calling myself an artist would have at least been after I graduated college and I was at least creating my own art. I know technically the art I was creating in college was my own, but it felt like it was not forced, but I was being told what to create more so than making all the choices within my actual medium. So, yeah. I'm going to adjust the camera so you guys can get a better view. And maybe I can. Yeah. Marsh, welcome back. Happy to have you on the stream. We are going through a revisionist moment here on the piece I was working on last week. Mainly because I was not digging the cloaks, so we're adding more layers. On the plus side, the piece doesn't need to be ready until September. So I got time. I still want to finish it before that so I can start my piece for October too. So we're working diligently. But yeah, we're talking about the concept of what it means to be an artist, or at the very least use the title, at least in a professional sense, versus like, hey, I just like to draw and doodles. I'm not an artist. I just do this. So I would love to hear your thoughts, and anybody who else is on TikTok too who's scrolling through. If you have any input, especially like I said, if you are a creative or an artist yourself, or Twitch. I'm not seeing anyone on Twitch yet. Would love to see you guys chime in. What was like a defining moment for you that was like, yes, I am an artist, and that was that was it for me. And from then on out, it was just cool. You're a professional artist. We'll say one of the things, like, side note, just something that kind of popped up today or not today, but earlier this week, from just like scrolling through social media as we do now. Um, the concept of complimenting an artist by saying, "Oh, you're so talented," it just having it meaning it devalues the artist's work and all the actual time and effort that as artists we put into our craft. Like, it's not this thing that, hey, just happened in our DNA. It wasn't put there by anyone. It was like, being an artist is a craft that we work towards every damn day. So that was a really interesting concept of like insulting an artist by saying you're so talented instead of, hey, you put so much work in. And I like that. Marsh over on YouTube. Sometimes I feel like an artist. Sometimes I feel like an imposter. There wasn't really a defining moment for me because I don't really have faith in my own skill. Yeah, imposter syndrome is hard. Like, it really hits hard. Also, Storm Chasered over on TikTok. Thanks for joining in. And Ray Hollow on TikTok also joining in. But yeah, imposter syndrome as an artist, it is so damn real. Like, also Storm Chaser, thank you for the like over on TikTok for the live. Much appreciated. Um, yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Like, imposter syndrome hits hard, and just like I have the feeling of like I haven't earned this title yet, but also, what does it take to earn that title? Also, Storm Chasers, hi from Pittsburgh. Hell yeah. Opposite side of the state viewer. Fantastic. Like, as the name implies, man, we're over here in Philly painting tonight. So, and yeah, like I said, we're talking about what it means to essentially call yourself an artist. I do feel like with the whole March, to your point again, um, what it means, like that imposter syndrome, and yeah, we all face it. I know I've faced it plenty of times myself. It's like it's definitely um very much like a lot of internalized comparisons that we have, like other artists, like, oh, a real artist has to have be in galleries, a real artist has to have a degree, a real artist has to have a massive following. Like, these are all ideals, but I'm like, that's very much that internalized comparison. Also, Storm Chaser over on TikTok going. I'm assuming when you say going, they're coming to Philly next month to see Weird Al. Awesome. Highly recommend it. I saw Weird Al with my dad a few years ago. I took him for Father's Day at the Mann Center. If you don't mind me asking, where are you seeing Weird Al? I'm intrigued to know what venue you're going to see. Absolutely love his stuff. Um, Also, thank you for the follow, Storm Chaser. Hell yeah. I just saw that. Hell yeah. Thank you for the follow over on TikTok. Much appreciated. I always try to remind over on YouTube Marsh. I always try to remind myself comparison is the thief of joy. Yeah. No, I like that actually. Very cool. Um no, I dig that. I dig it. Um excuse me. Yeah, we spend a lot of time comparing what we've done to other artists we know, and that in and of itself is definitely going to throw you off your rhythm. Because one of the things, like, I know I've said it multiple times in videos. Also, Doran and Maggie over on TikTok. Hello, welcome to the stream. We're talking about imposter syndrome right now, or what it means to call yourself an artist. To anyone who's joining in recently, always want to keep reminding. I'm going to eventually find a way to put a little tag somewhere, either TikTok. It's going to be like right here. Like, same thing. You're going to have like something in this blank space where like the topic of the day, so we can actually, people who are coming in can actually join in on the conversation without me having to remind everyone like every 5 minutes. But I'm still working on it. I'm still working out the kinks with OBS. I'm still working out the kinks. Also, Storm Chaser had a look. He's going to be at the TT Pavilion. That has had so many damn names. Like, I've been to it when it was called the BB&T Pavilion, maybe something else. Too many damn names. That thing has changed hands so many times. Amazing venue. Awesome stuff. I know I went to the not the festival. That was Y100. Oh my god. I know I saw the Lumineers at the Pavilion. That was an amazing show. Had lawn seats. Would have loved to have actual seats. I think when I was younger, lawn seats were fine. I think now that I'm going on 40 this year, I would have splurged for the actual nice seats. But yeah, 17 times. Impressive dedication. I have not seen. Well, I think the band I have seen the most would probably be Dropkick Murphys. They always come through Philly, and I've seen them with like Rancid. I've seen them with Flogging Molly. Awesome live band. Also, the one thing I wish I did with Weird Al that I normally do with concerts, I try to always like. I don't normally buy tour merch because it's like I don't want to wear a T-shirt. I don't want to wear this, but I definitely wish I would have picked up a vinyl from Weird Al because that's something I always do at all my other damn shows. It's like this is my thing that shows I was at that like, and then like before all tickets were digital, I would slip the little ticket stub in the actual vinyl sleeve to like yes, this is that memory. So that's awesome. But yeah, Weird Al was such a great show, by the way. If you have not seen Weird Al Storm Chaser, you're going to love it. The man is such an amazing performer. It is so good. Also, C joined, and thank you for liking the live, C. Much appreciated over on TikTok. This is your many times in the stream reminder, no matter which platform you are on, if you haven't already, do that follow or sub. Make sure to hit those reaction buttons, like the stream, thumbs up, do all that stuff. It is much appreciated, and it tells the algorithm that hey, this guy, we like what he's doing, and I do appreciate if you like what we're doing. You're excited. That's fantastic. Yeah, like I said, Weird Al, such a good show. like such a good show and such an amazing concert to go to. I even whipped out like the back then I whipped out the only existing why can't I think of it, Hawaiian shirt that I had just to wear to the Weird Al show. It just felt appropriate. So I don't have that shirt anymore. I don't wear Hawaiian shirts, but I went through a phase back in high school and I still had one that fit. Or maybe I asked my dad to bring them. I don't know. But me and my dad did, in fact, wear Hawaiian shirts to go to Weird Al. I suggest you do too. It only adds to the experience. Carlos Santiago, Lacey Lou, thanks for joining the stream over on TikTok. Marsh over on YouTube says, I remember last week you mentioned you find bugs cool. So just in case you're interested, I found a few pink grasshoppers in my garden. They have a genetic abnormality that makes them pink. That's cool. I've never actually seen a pink grasshopper. That is sick. Like, I know pink bugs exist. I know there's like a specific, like, I want to say it's an orchid praying mantis. And I truly only know that. My wife will be happy. And if she's watching the stream on any of these platforms, I only know that because of Animal Crossing. Definitely got to explore some new bugs that I have not known through Animal Crossing. Robert Don is liking the live over on TikTok. Much appreciated. Slug, hello. Tine. Oh man, Orchid Prey. Yeah, I like again. I didn't know about the orchid praying mantis until like I played uh, Animal Crossing with my wife. But I'm like, holy crap! I think the only reason I have never painted, I actually have never painted an orchid praying mantis, and the only reason I have never done that is because a lot of my earlier, again, like I know we talked last week about like what I'm doing now versus what I did a few years ago. Um, and it was very much like to add on to that conversation. A lot of the mushrooms I used to paint were very bouquet esque, and I felt like if I did that orchid praying mantis, it would get lost or add just a little too much to it. Dead Broke Mom over on TikTok. Thanks for joining. Hello, everyone who's scrolling through on TikTok land as well. Everybody else. Um, but yeah, I don't do as many bugs now in the current state of my work. But I definitely love that. Like if I get the right piece and it requires bugs, I might do that. It's just I think scale wise, it's kind of a bit off. I see Sunshine Boy Cat. Yeah, Sunshine Boy Boy Cast. Sure. Welcome to the stream over on TikTok. But yeah, I think scaling wise, it would be a bit off because in the bouquets I could kind of play with scale and muck around with that, but I feel with like these characters now, it's very much um I would want to make the bug the right thing unless it was like some sort of like idol that I'm creating. Like in this piece I have the heart in the middle. So we'll see. Picasso bugs have been a massive inspo for me the last week or two. They're so cool. They kind of look like painted china. So I assume when you say Picasso bugs, you mean like that's a type of bug, not bugs painted by Picasso. By the way, that was over on YouTube. Also over on TikTok, I'm getting ready for an event in Oklahoma at the Twister Museum. Is that something you're going to tonight, Storm Chaser? And like, what kind of event? I'm intrigued. Like the Twister Museum in that. Like, I know you're most likely not talking about the movie Twister, but that's where my brain goes, by the way, Storm Chaser. Also, I assume by your name, Storm Chaser, are you an actual Storm Chaser? Because if so, that's pretty damn cool. Specific type bug, white with blue, black, and red markings. That sounds awesome. This is why we have the internet. Let me pull that up. Because I am intrigued as hell about what the hell a Picasso bug. Come on. Where are you? New tab. Not till September, but I sell stuff and help. But yes, the 19. It's a museum about the movie. That's amazing. I don't know when I'd ever get out to Oklahoma, but that sounds so damn cool. Picasso bug. I really want to see what the hell a Picasso bug looks like. Ooh, I like that. That is neat. I don't. I can see why that would be cool. Very much Storm Chaser D. Like, yeah, seeing more power to you. I know when if I'd see a like that is not in it for me to chase that and get those photographs, but that is cool as hell. But Marsh, back to your thing with the Picasso bug. That is definitely neat. I love that bug. That is cool. Like the bet, it looks. I'm looking at this picture of the Picasso bug, and it. The best thing that I can describe what it looks like, for me at least, is like when you have like potters and like ceramicists who like put layers and layers of. Why can't I think of it? Clay and slip of different colors, and then they carve into it, and it reveals like all these layers down, or like a jawbreaker, like a jawbreaker that has all the layers, and you lick it and you start seeing these layers of color. That's what that reminds me of. That is super cool. But I can see the Picasso bug name. That's sick as hell. But oh man, cool, 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 cool. We're getting off topic, but that's cool. I enjoy these good conversations where we just bring stuff up about this. But yeah, Storm Chaser, that's awesome. Like again, first off, that's cool that I did not know that there was a museum about the movie Twister. That's awesome. I would have just assumed like if you told me there was a Twister museum out in Oklahoma, like in the Midwest, like yeah, it's clearly just about the natural phenomenon because that's something that legit happens all the time. I just don't know why you're glorifying it. But hey, it's all good. But that's cool. I would love to see that. Twister was a an amazing movie, one of my favorites. I have not seen the sequel yet. Marsh over you. Yes, I had thought of the Jawbreaker thing before, but that's yeah, great. We had the same thing. They created this filming location photo book, gave one to Helen Hunt. She said she heard of it. That's cool. Hey, Toby Wayne over on TikTok. Welcome to the stream. We got a little sidetracked here, but we were talking about being a what it means to be calling yourself an artist. So obviously art in your tag there, Toby Wayne over on TikTok. I would love to get your input about what it means, or I guess what was the moment that you were okay with calling yourself an artist. Thank you. My wife, who is on TikTok right now, because I see her tapping the like button, because I know my little man likes seeing the hearts as they pop up. So if you're on TikTok and you want to entertain my child for a little bit, tap that screen and make the hearts appear for my little dude. But yeah, what is, I guess, when was the moment or what was the defining event that you allowed yourself to call yourself an artist. So, like I said, I know for me, like the first time I was even comfortable even considering that was at the very minimum after I graduated college. So let me know. But yeah. Landed your first gallery? Yeah, I think that's definitely a big one. Um, Definitely landing a gallery is that main thing. Now, let me ask you this question then. Follow up question. Um, um, how long were you creating art? I would guess I would say in a quote unquote professional capacity, not just I'm doing this as a hobby, but like I am creating relatively every day. But how long were you creating art before that? Also, I mean, I did other smaller shows too long before that, but okay. Also, Mama Cass over on TikTok, thank you for the follow. And Toby Wayne Art, thank you for the follow. Much, much appreciated. But I guess, like, and that raises a question. You did have smaller shows before that. So why didn't you consider yourself an artist until you landed your first gallery? And I assume when you say landed your first gallery, you landed your first gallery show. I want to make sure I'm understanding the context of everything. Fantastic. Over on Twitch, Ratney Raccoon, we got a bot in the chat over on Twitch. Gotta love it. The gallery just seemed like a bigger deal. Toby Wayne over on TikTok. Okay. Do you what gallery? Because I am definitely intrigued. Because like I know I've had smaller shows before, like in Philly. I've done Jed Williams Gallery, which is a I don't think it even exists anymore, but it's a small gallery that was in South Philly that I was in with a few people. I've done a few shows, but like I would say my first actual like big name gallery show was Arch Enemy Arts, and that wasn't even like a solo. That was just their spotlight showcase. And I know for me, it was definitely that defining moment. I do the Pittsburgh Three Rivers Arts Festival every year, Storm Chaser. Awesome. And I guess same question for you, Storm Chaser, over on TikTok. When would you consider? Because obviously, like you said, it sounds like you do. From what I've gleaned from everything, you've done photography. So I would love to know like what other things and like did you consider yourself a professional artist prior to doing say the Three Rivers Arts Festival or some other stuff, or even the Twister Museum? Toby Wayne over on TikTok. I've been in the Elsinore Gallery in Salem, Oregon, and the Newport Visual Arts Center in Newport, Oregon. Awesome. Is it safe to assume you're from Oregon? But that's awesome. I am not familiar with either of those. The Elsinore Gallery one, I assume, is probably the slightly bigger one. I generally hear when I hear Art Center, I think more of like a. It has shows, but you go there to learn about and do art and do that kind of like we have Goggleworks Center for the Arts here in Reading, just a little northwest of us in Reading, Pennsylvania, from Philly. Storm Chaser over on TikTok, probably 10 years ago when I got accepted into the Three Rivers Arts Festival for the first time. Is this I'm going to ask because, again, I don't know all of these things. What is the Three Rivers Arts Festival is it like really big? Again, I'm not trying to sit here and criticize. I'm just like, I am not familiar with all that. Newport Visual Arts Center is way bigger. Oh, cool. Again, I think, and as by the way, Toby, I'm not trying to diss it. I'm just like whenever I hear like blank gallery, it always like, oh, that's clearly the bigger one. It's Pittsburgh's biggest art show. Cool. Again, I didn't know. That's awesome. That's sick. Yeah. Like I wish I could say like, yeah, I know all the actual galleries, but that's damn near impossible. Hello. Move my hand while we get to my paints. Ugh. Yeah, I don't even know. I have like teaching art dad the local haunts. Hey, I am always here to learn about new galleries. Um, like especially ones that I would not think of. Like it's always good to expand your horizons on what you do. Also, I'm totally gonna go and like stalk you guys, like Storm Chaser and Toby Wayne over on TikTok. I'm gonna go check out your profiles because you followed me, so of course I'm gonna go see what you guys do. Marsh, I like the color changing mic. Thank you. When I purchased it, it was like it said switchable RGB, and I'm like, cool, so I can switch which color it is, and it's like, oh no, that's not a feature. We just mean it automatically switches. And it's neat. It's a little distracting. Like I'm okay with RGB. I was just kind of like, man, if it could just be like one static color, but I'm glad you like it. It does the job. Like it was a very, it's a. I did research. It's a quality mic. Fifine is the brand. Um, and it gets the job done. And the quality of audio, at the very least on YouTube and Twitch, his has been elevated because I feel like that's something I saw. I rated a few streamers over on Twitch, and the quality of audio was just not great. So I was like, I need a mic so I don't fall into that. Toby Wayne over on TikTok, but now I do ceramic sculpture burned in my fire bit. Sawdust fire. Is that I know a little bit about um ceramics. That sounds very similar to raku firing. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I know I know enough to be dangerous, but that's about it. It sounds cool as hell. Because I assume, much like Raku firings. Okay, yeah, it's okay. It's the same thing. Awesome. Because yeah, I love the patterns that the burnt, like in this case, sawdust gets. That is so damn cool. So super cool. Yeah, we're in a bulletproof vesting in mama. Lots approve. Sorry for some of those messages not coming through. Lots of fun colors. I can only imagine. Do the colors actually transfer? Like, I know the patterns are really cool from Raku firings like that. Can you actually get colors from that style of firing? That's really damn awesome. Also, I do have an Instagram. It is, if you go here on TikTok, on just the link in my bio, it has all of my it has my website, it has all of my social links. Instagram is on there. The only difference is that over on Instagram, my handle is Michael Weaver Art. I'm gonna eventually get it changed over to Philly Art Dad. I had to what is it? When I started the whole Philly Art Dad platform here on TikTok first, like this is TikTok is where Philly Art Dad was born, I'd say. Um, but after I did that, like I created a secondary account on Instagram called Philly Art Dad, and it was just a pain in the ass to try to manage two accounts, and the new one was not growing nearly enough. So, and I'm like, I already have like over 900 viewers on my regular one. Why not just use those people as that following? And it's actually helped pick up Instagram again, which has been fantastic. So thank you for checking that out. I would appreciate the follow over on there if you make your way over. That is awesome. I will have to check out some more of like that Raku firings, because I have a deep, deep appreciation for the crafts. One of the things I do in my art is actually inspired by my crafts background. Back in college, I was actually at Kutztown University. I did a lot of fibers, so like loom weaving. I did a lot of that stuff, and it was so fun. And one of the things I do in my current body of work is I do embroidery on all of my pieces. I'm going to step off to the side because I always love showing this stuff off. It's like a lot of my streams recently have not been that. It's been painting. But like, I'll hold this up for everyone to see. Like, this is an old piece. This is from 2018. But yeah, you can see like what I was saying earlier about like kind of like those mushroom bouquets. This is kind of what I was talking about. A lot of the mushrooms on there, but these elements here around the outside, like turn this over, it's all embroidered, and this is a wood panel, so it is solid. I had to drill through. Thank you. Yeah, it is. It was such a cool thing to bring about, especially after I did a lot of that weaving in college, and I still have a loom. Like, I have a portable loom over behind my shelf, and I have a much larger one, like floor loom, back at my parents' place in Pottstown that I have yet to bring up here to Philly. But yeah, I do enjoy it. It's just the painting has honestly been the love I have the most right now, and being able to tell those stories. And that's why it's like I've been doing that more. But bringing that fiber work into my paintings has been really awesome. Also, Starry Sky is joining us over on YouTube. Weaving is so much fun. You do bracelets mostly. That's fantastic. Yeah. So when you say you do bracelets, carpets seem fun but time consuming. I've never done carpets. A lot of the weaving that I did was definitely practical stuff. I did fiber, like I did like nice scarves, shawls. I was very much into the tartan patterns, so like kilts, the plaids, doing the study there. So I wove a lot of plaids. I think I still have some like old stuff that I wove, like probably packed away somewhere that I could dig out eventually. But yeah, definitely a lot of practical goods that I used or that I made, just because I'm like, that's especially I did craft shows very early on into my professional career. So selling practical things that people could use was a big thing. Yeah, and I mean, like I said, I've never done carpets, but yes, scarf shawls are very time consuming. So, but like having that piece of fabric in your hands at the end was so damn cool. Like, it was just so fulfilling to have that. I mean, having a finished painting in your hand is super cool, and especially seeing it on the wall of a gallery is awesome too. But it's also super cool to like, hey, wear the thing you made, and it was amazing. Toby Wayne over on TikTok. I used to paint back in the day, but then I discovered sculpting, and that's all she wrote. That's awesome. If you do not know of her, I would absolutely recommend checking out Darla Jackson. She's a Philly sculptor, good friend of mine. Um, Amazing work. I have a piece of hers that's downstairs in the dining room gallery. Um, but she's an absolutely amazing sculptor. Um, Starry Skies, I'm gonna make a good walking stick one day. I hope not out of fibers, though. If you do and figure that out, that would be super cool. I am assuming you're potentially going to carve it. That sounds amazing. I have to check out, what was her name again? Darla Jackson. DarlaJackson. Like I said, local Philly artist and sculptor. Absolute sweetheart of a person. Like, so damn nice. Like the bubbliest attitude, like, and then it's like she's just like a pleasure to be around, and then all of her stuff very much um these big like sculptures of animals, potentially dead animals. She even did a show that was why can't I think of it? Um the It was a show based off Wu Tang Clan's album Enter the 36 Chambers. I think that's the name of it. And it was all these different birds that she created, and it was amazing. Um, Again, I always love talking about my friends. So yeah, Scarstyle, more like low quality super glue and yarn. That's, I mean, look, if you can make a walking stick out of super glue and yarn, low quality or high quality, that is awesome. So sick. Toby Wayne over in TikTok just found her website. She does nice work. I know, like so good. Um, and again, nicest person you ever meet. S. Stevens over on YouTube. Hi, I have no idea why this just came up, recommended to me, but I'm from Philly. I now live in the Netherlands. 12:54 here now. What are you making? 12:54 in the PM or AM? Like, are we early morning as Stevens, or are we like just past the afternoon? Also, I'm painting. I've got a piece that I'm working on. Actually, yeah, wow, I haven't shared this bit of information. I know some of you who have been tuning in already know what I'm working on, but for the new people who are joining, who have joined in and have not seen everything, also, it was fantastic meeting you. I'll be checking on your page here shortly. Have a great night. You too, Toby Wayne. Thanks for joining. Again, thanks for the likes. Thanks for the follow. And I'll be checking you out as well. Again, thank you for hopping in on the stream and chatting with me. But for anyone who has not been on a stream or is new to here, uh, thanks, mate. No worries, man. I'm working on a new piece for a gallery show I have coming up in September. Um, the theme of the show, or yeah, theme title is called "As Above, So Below." No true like you have. It's no true theme in the sense that I have to include um like underwater elements or this. It's just the only thing that has to happen is the piece has to be shown two ways. Nighttime here. Okay, very cool. So we're talking like 12:54 a.m. I've noticed that because I do late streams, apparently I get a lot of nighttime viewers, and it's like everyone's over from Europe or like in like across the Atlantic viewing me. I think that's super cool, by the way. Um, but yeah, it's just the piece has to be able to be flipped upside down. I'm getting a wicked glare off of that. We're gonna push that to the side so you can see it. So I'm currently working on my Reaper character, but what's cool about the show that they do is halfway through the gallery opening, they will go through the entire show and then flip every single painting upside down to showcase the other side. It's super cool, especially watching them physically flip over. It does mean I have to put double the amount of hanging hardware on this piece, but worth it. This is my second time doing the As Above So Below show, and I would continue to do it because it's the theme, because there's no traditional theme in the sense of like you have to include X, Y, and Z. Um, it's a little more freeing and like, but having this restriction is really cool. I was thinking the same thing as Stevens, but yes, what do Netherlands people put on their chicken? That's not gonna lie, Stars guys, definitely a weird question, but I dig it. I dig it. But also, that is awesome that you are from Philly. You are the second uh, person to actually be to join the live. And last week we had someone who was from Philly and they moved to Scotland, and I'm like, that's freaking cool. But yeah, that's cool, man. Thank you for joining on. I'm glad they recommended it to. Maybe the name Philly Art Dad was the impetus for me showing up on your feed. Sorry, Stars. Anyone who has patience for painting is amazing. My acrylic hates me. It has it out for me, I swear. I like soft recommendations for cooking. That makes a lot more sense, Stars, guys. I was like, is there a punchline here? Is there a joke? You lost me there for a second, but that's okay. I think we're back on track. To your point about acrylics, acrylic is what I use. This is an acrylic painting. If you're having trouble with acrylics, things I can recommend for you. First and foremost, a wet palette. This one is from Redgrass Games. I have found that any wet palettes that are of the good quality come from like mini painting. Hell yeah, 215 represent. But any wet palettes that come from the mini painting hobby, which I am a mini painter. Um, it's from a board game. These are mostly finish up, um, but from a board game called Lobotomy 2. Um, but a wet palette will make acrylic makes me angry for zero reason. They make them wet. Yes. But what the wet palette does is it instead of like yeah, I have like your basic Wells palette, and you can put like this works for acrylic, and having a basic plastic Wells kind of palette for your acrylic paints is perfectly fine, but they will dry out really quickly in a basic plastic palette like this. The only way you can really prevent them from drying out um, is if you put like a shitload of paint in here, and then that way like the outer stuff will start to dry, but the interior will still be. But yeah, what a wet palette does is there is a sponge. I thought it was just wood. Yeah, no, they like yeah, there's like the traditional palette I think you're thinking of. That yes, those are wood, but yeah, I not recommended for acrylic paint. Um, Not at all. That will suck the moisture out of that. So if you're using a wood palette for acrylics, I think that might be problem. You also might be using a heavier bodied acrylic too. Again, I'm just assuming here. But a lot of times, like the heavy body acrylics come in like the tubes, like this. I use a fluid acrylic. All right, that's good to know. So that's what these are. So in this is golden fluid acrylics. They flow a lot better. Um, they still dry about, but they're not super thick. That's why gouache is king. I've never actually painted with gouache, but I love my acrylics. But I also, if you want to try acrylic again, because acrylic can be used like a gouache with a very opaque application. But the great thing about acrylic is you can go with that very heavy-handed opaque application, or you can thin it down and do really tiny layers and glaze your actual piece and build up those layers, kind of more like an acrylic. Or not acrylic, a watercolor. Duh. But again, if you are having issues with like acrylics drying out, a glazing medium. You can mix this. It's non-pigmented, so you can just mix it with any. Um, why can't I think of it? Any paint you have, any color. It's not gonna. It's not going to dull the colors. Yeah. Are you painting live? Yes. We're kind of chatting, so like I haven't really painted much. I apologize. I am painting. I swear. We're getting taught. We're getting stuck in conversations, and I also love like chatting about like the supplies I use. I am a nerd for good art supplies, but yes, I swear I am painting as well. This is generally doesn't happen like until later in the stream when we really get down. Making watercolors fun just hurts your wrist. Making it out of an old makeup palette. Good night. Hey, thanks for joining, Starry Skies. Very much appreciate it. And if, like I said, if you want to find any of the stuff that I use, I have a in the link in my bio. There is a link to my Benable site. It's where I do all my affiliate links because trying to join the Amazon affiliate program is stupid. And then you can buy from other things. So if there's anything that you see me using, just go to the link in my bio, and you'll see the one that there's one for Benable there that you can actually find a lot of that stuff. Marsh, I gotta head to bed now. Hope you have a good stream. See you another time. Again, Marsh, thank you for joining. It was great having you back on 2 days in a row. So hell yeah. Hopefully we will see you again. I think we're gonna. Oh, that's right, because that's there. Haha. Okay. Forgot how to mention. I mean, it should just be the ampersand and then their username. But yeah. What are we talking about? Back to the notes. So yeah, we were talking about like imposter syndrome and actually when you call yourself an artist. I think another thing that a lot of us get hit up with when it comes to calling yourselves artist is sadly there's just a lot of gatekeeping, I feel, in the art community. And that really sucks. Um there's just a lot like between the institutions that we see. What else? I've got notes here. Like the internet just being like I know I'm trying to be a force for good and positivity and mental health here in the art world, but sadly, there are just some people who are real shitty and want to put you down and tell you you're not an artist and all this other BS. Um, and it feels like you're jumping through hoops to appease these people who have no say in what it means for you to be an artist. Yes, over on YouTube, yes, certain people get propped up in the art community, the rest left on their own. Yeah. Um I understand like that's a very slippery slope of like, oh, these people deserve it and these people don't. I'm I am never going to say this one person doesn't deserve the fame. I definitely feel that they don't get to dictate because just like what I said, I don't want to dictate what somebody else is as an artist. And but yeah, sadly other people do. And that sucks. And it's just the way it is sometimes, it's not great. It's a shitty feeling. I've seen it happen in higher education. Okay. Yeah, you get like the star students, like, oh, they do so good. They've done this, like, okay, cool. But what about the rest of us? I get that. Um, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I wish them ill will. Like, every community has toxicity. Art just gets pretentious. Yes, that I. Oh man, I think that goes back to also like the art establishment that I was talking about too. Like, yeah, especially the not just like other artists being toxic, but like the art community gets pretentious where it's like, oh, like I will never like this is a really slippery slope and like I'm trying to choose my words right. There are clearly artists that I don't like. That I don't know when I would say like they are not an artist. Like not a huge fan of Damien Hirst. Um especially when you know like half of the work he's putting out anymore hasn't even had his hands touch the actual paintings. Like he may go in, like I know there was a video of Damien Hirst painting like 100 some odd paintings, and he had a cart with paints and paintbrushes, and he was just rolling it through and like dab, 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 scoot, dab, 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 scoot, dab, 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 and it's like that's great, but it feels like that video was staged beyond all belief. But I'm like, I don't want to say he's not an artist because yeah, he is a creative individual, but I don't know, man. Yeah, that's actually a good point. There is another one that I can't think of. I cannot think of his name right now, but does the same thing. He created the big sculpture of the balloon animal dog that we see everywhere. He's another one where he's a brand, not a creative anymore, and it's weird. Think about bands. He's putting out murals pretty regularly. I like Banksy a little more. I mean, he's technically a brand now too, but I don't know. I feel Banksy's at least kept it semi-real. I think the major issue right now is there's a bunch of Banksy impersonators that really just are trying to su- gain success off of the back of somebody else, which is real shitty. I like Banksy. It's a different style. Um, and I know not everyone it's cup of tea. Maybe it's like art. I mean, music. Yeah, like you get your. It might be. So agree about the dumb dog sculpture. I agree. I think as like we grow with our tastes, though. I think I've had this hot take before, and like you can fight me in the comments. One take I will always stand by is I cannot stand Rothko. I hate his work. I will never say he's not an artist. He's absolutely an artist. But I do not like Mark Rothko's work. It sucks. For those of you who don't know Rothko, famously the guy who creates these massive canvases, like floor to ceiling canvases. And when I say floor to ceiling, I'm not talking like a regular house. I'm talking like museums where they're like a good 20 feet tall and just paints these massive fields of color. Sometimes there are multiple squares and rectangles, but it's always just big blocks of color. I don't like Rothko. I know that'll. I made a video about it, and it pissed somebody off so much that he very much came to attack me in the comments. And it's like, oh, it's like, well, you can have your opinion, and this is my opinion. It's like if I go to a Rubik's Cube, I haven't even played with it for a while. It's something you like. Everyone loves you. And think, what about the stuff I love? That like two squares. Yeah, Basic Expecting keeps making the same new. Yeah, I actually do really. I have a very big appreciation for the people who do like Rubik's Cube art. Like I've seen some of those things. Those are insane. Just the amount of dedication. Um, there is somebody. I don't know if he's on TikTok, but I know he's on Instagram, and he does these actually like I feel like genuine like critiques of art, and he's like he has a metrics like the novelty of it, the skill level it takes. Like again, I wish I had this information at my hands right now, but he actually breaks down, and it's like this is really cool. Again, I wish I could get this information. I'm talking in vague um, comments here, but like I really dig that, and it's like it's never, it's always, it's not overly critical, but it's always very much like let's look at this from a real base, like a real genuine understanding of what art is. Maybe it's expecting to keep making the same new dude. It's like, yeah, I agree. Like that shit is damn cool. I just have a really old one with missing stairs, so I practice on something that basically sees it up. I also have a Rubik's cube. I don't have one in the traditional sense. I got this. My sister got me a like when like the eve of you can hear the springs on like when we had all of those like subscription boxes that were like everywhere. It's like nerd box, horror box, this box, that box, and like that's died down. One of them came with a Rubik's cube in the form of the lament configuration from Hellraiser. I have mixed it up and obviously put it back in its finished state. I have never mixed it up again because this thing is too damn cool, and I like looking at the lament configuration on my shelf of stuff. So I'm like, I need Nerdbox. Like, yeah, I don't even know if Nerdbox, but it was like all the different nerd things. Like there was a Fallout box. There was like an RPG box. I don't know. I guess like they fell out of vogue. Like there's still some that are around. Like I know Bespoke Post does a lot. Like a lot of like men's like fancy things. Um, my brother-in-law got my wife a Sakura Co. And we've actually been digging that. The snacks in there are someone. Hello. I I don't know how to pronounce your name, but I do remember. I vaguely remember seeing you last time. I'm hoping you're feeling better. Um, about your um creativity. I know we talked last time and you were not feeling good and you didn't have a lot of support network. So I am happy to see you back. That's really great. We were actually legit talking about imposter syndrome a little earlier and how it's a pain in the ass, and especially when we have genuinely people who are critical of us, can really be a detriment to our. We need. I need Slap Snacks back. Fuel the soul. I do not remember Slap Snacks one. That one. That one is unknown to me. Starry Skies. Oh, Jude. I'm heard Joud. Jude. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing it right. And low base guy coming in from Twitch with the raid. Hell yeah. I need to grammar better. Sorry. That's totally cool, Stars, guys. It is all good. All good. Welcome, low base guy, and everybody else from Twitch coming in with a raid. I had an attacker. Ah, it's so good to have you on the stream, everybody. Grammar is overrated. I like that. This is good. I'm actually glad you brought the raid in, low base guy, because this is actually I know we got a lot of creatives over in the web creative community. We were actually talking about when you actually like what was that defining moment that you were able to call yourself an artist or like a professional artist or a professional photographer, not just doing it as a hobby. Um, so all of my raiders from over on Twitch, I would love to hear your thoughts on that. Like we touched on imposter syndrome and what that means because that is imposter syndrome is a hell of a drug that just really fucks up everything. I also see Daniel Belfi over on TikTok who joined and then immediately went away. Awesome. But yeah, I'll let you know what happened. Yeah, that sounds about right. I get that. Touche. Touche. Oh man. That is definitely one thing. Sometimes it feels like the goalposts move every time. So, oh man. Being an artist is overrated. I just have stuff and people take it. I can get with that. I like being an artist. My mom will guilt trip me till I stop making stuff. That is definitely something you need. I will say this till I stop making stuff. As in, she will guilt trip you into making stuff, or guilt trip you. So, like, I want to make sure I'm understanding right, because like we were talking about this last time with, and again, if I'm pronouncing it, maybe put in Jude, talking about just like having a good support network, and sadly, sometimes your family's not, which really sucks. Um, Having a good support network is so critical. Um, and like I said, sometimes it's not your family, and it will never be your family because they don't understand what being an artist is. She will force me to get rid of the things I want to keep. Ah, okay. I hear you. My family doesn't believe. Oh, that stinks. That sucks. Sorry, guys. You just got rid of a couple $100. Ooh, yeah, that's not cool. My family doesn't believe what I do is a thing. Yeah, let's make this guy like, and that's sadly a trend that I have been seeing a lot. Um, and like for me, I thought it was just like the boomer generation that was very much like art's not a real career. Though I had a really supportive family who were like they never came out and said, "Hey, you can't be an artist," but they were definitely like, "Definitely make sure you have a backup plan," kind of thing. They were definitely more of the pragmatic sense. So yeah, um, low base guy over on Twitch. One of the things I always say when talking about the community is creatives have to support each other creators because nobody understands creators like absolutely. That's absolutely. And again, thank you for inviting me to the community again. Super appreciate it. Um, yeah, other creators, and that's why I feel it's so important to have a community of just individuals who share a similar goal and similar mindset. Again, that's why Philly Art Dad exists. Like that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to put good back into the world, and I'm trying to be that voice for some people who may not have that. Starry Skies, it'd be my fault again. Did it to my brother, and he gave up on it. So God, yeah. What is Pokemon? It is a Japanese animated series about a perpetually 10-year-old boy catching little creatures and making them fight each other. That's a bad enough description, but it's correct. And then they turned it into like a collectible trading card game, which is what Starry Skies was talking about. Low Base Guy on Twitch. My family will say they support me because in their mind, supporting me is not overtly telling me I can't do it, but they support me in no way, shape, or form in any of my creative endeavors. Never had. That sucks. Like, having the words is nice, but yeah, having that genuine support is always really important, I feel. Low Base Guy, let's just call it what it is. Pokemon is unsupervised 10-year-olds wandering the country, practicing what is essentially a combination of poaching and dog. That is probably the best, worst description of what Pokemon is. I hope that answered your question, Jude, or at least created 20 more questions. Because, yeah, it's weird. I truly never got into Pokemon myself. Never really dug the anime, and as far as the card game was, I was a Magic the Gathering player myself for the longest time. But yeah, catch up will catch up in media. I believe in Pokemon Resurgence. Honestly, I don't think it went away. Like, if the scalpers taught us anything, there's definitely people wanting the cards who is going to do it. Sometimes I wish someone could hold my hand and tell me exactly what to do. That sounds like a great thing. I agree in a sense. But I think one of the important things about being an artist is the growth we find in ourselves. Gym leaders, prestigious jobs, basically. Yeah. But never understood it. I'm glad that this horrible explanation has answered 0 questions for you and only brought upon more. But yeah, there goes thousands. I get it. It sucks. But yeah, like I said, like Low Base Guy over on Twitch said, the only people that I feel truly understand what it means to be a creative is definitely other creatives. Mainly because we've gone through all of the heartbreak a few times over. So, yeah. I've seen eating me. Oh man, that opens a whole can of worms there, Low Base Guy. For the people on YouTube, Starry Skies, Misery. All the people in Pokemon, the TV shows, are frequently seen eating meat, yet there are absolutely no Pokemon animals. Are they eating the Pokemon? Are there no non-Pokemon animals? Are they? I'd say yes. If you have not, Mythical Kitchen on YouTube. Josh, who is the main host of that, did like these are like he does like a few shorts like these are 5 Pokemon I would eat and how I would prepare them. It's stupidly hilarious. It's the best. But yeah, Jude, like I said, it is very important to go back. I'm glad you got calling early because we're not ending the stream yet. I know I ended earlier. It's important, I feel, to find a group of people who you can connect with as creatives. That's super important. What we do is it's definitely a solitary profession. Like, honestly, there are some days when I truly don't want to paint. Like, legit yesterday, I got in the studio. I created what was today's video over on all my socials. And after I got that done, and I just was sitting here staring at my painting, and I just couldn't pull myself to pick up that paintbrush. Um, so yeah, Low Base Guy, you're more than welcome to invite anybody on the other platforms to the community. It's just not for Twitch streamers. We have to look out for. That's great. I will make sure I do that. Much appreciated. I don't want to step on anyone's toes, Low Base Guy. So yeah, Jude, like I said, Jude, God, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. I feel so bad. Jude, I feel like there's a community over on Discord called the Web Creative Community, where it's just a bunch of creators who are on there chatting, sharing their work with everybody. Um, and it also showcases when everybody's streaming. So there's a little shout out bot that'll say, hey, so and so is streaming right now, which how Low Base Guy and the Raiders he brought with them all joined in on the stream tonight. Who knew I was streaming because of that? Over on YouTube, Star Skies, the way I find inspiration is Pinterest and maybe an interest I feel like drawing. Burnout is real art. It really is. Burnout is no joke. Yeah. It's just a matter of, I think, especially with burnout, it's knowing when to step back, which is critical to prevent burnout. 'Cause yeah, like I could have tried to paint yesterday, but I know for a fact I would have just, it would have been nothing productive, and I would have ended up complaining about it in some way, shape, or form to my wife. And it's like, it's not productive. So knowing when to step away is critical to your mental health as an artist. So yes, taking breaks from art is okay. Don't feel guilty about putting your pencils or brushes down or camera or whatever you use to create. You don't want to get... It's harder to pull yourself back from burnout than it is to just not... to try to at least stave off being burnout. Hey, Sean David over on TikTok. So yeah, if you notice, I will say, if you notice you are getting burnout, take a step back. Don't overdo it. Don't force yourself. I think dinner is ready downstairs. That's good to hear. I had dinner before the stream. I also have a toddler who I need to make sure he gets fed before he goes much earlier than what I do, because I end up streaming much later than that dude is up. Though he does love watching the stream on TikTok, because whenever people like the stream over there, all the little hearts and the emojis keep popping up, and it entertains the hell out of him. I don't know if that happens on YouTube, but yeah. If you want to entertain my child, hit that like button and make those little hearts and emojis fly. Starry Skies over YouTube. I'm probably going to post my art again. Thank you for being inspiring. I'm glad I could. That's awesome to hear. Honestly, it's a big thing. Like, I'm gonna tell you truthfully. Like, I don't know what your following is on your socials, but even if it's like 10 people, do it. It's still 10 people that'll look and hopefully interact. It's really important. Like, being able to just put yourself out there is such a big thing. And honestly, I feel that putting yourself out there on social media like that is... We attribute social media views to sales. Zero. Hey, you got to start from somewhere. Like I started with 0 on TikTok. I just crossed the 1100. I'm going to get back to that one too. Yeah, you know what? That is a good idea to start fresh, Starry Skies, because yeah, sometimes you just need that fresh start to actually why can't I think of it? Start new. And honestly, sometimes the algorithm likes that. So it would not be a horrible idea to start just a fresh account, just nuke the old one, uh, and start fresh. Um, I would just recommend being genuine. And that kind of answers the question for you, Jude, too. You got to be genuine. Don't try to make a stink. Um, have fun. What else? You said on YouTube, how to get rid of embarrassment. I used to write and make TikTok videos, and people liked it, but now I feel weird and not genuine anymore. It's never gonna. The embarrassment doesn't go away. I'm legit gonna tell you, embarrassment's there to stay. I make every Monday. I take it upon myself to make a stupid, funny meme video just to have fun, so I don't take myself too seriously. Um, and it's enjoyable. Like, I know it's dumb. I know someone's out there probably cringing away at, this 39 going on 40-year-old guy on TikTok making these stupid 7-second meme videos and trends. But you know what? Enough people like it and enough people find it relatable. And I think you just got to get over those insecurities. And I'm going to tell you right now, there are people who like it. I guarantee. Um, Additionally, don't do it for other people. Do it for you. Yes, other people are going to see it. Yes, other people are going to comment, but that's the beauty of the block button. You don't like what somebody says, block their ass, and then you aren't going to have to worry about them anymore. Yeah, I wish I had a way to say, like, this is how to be not embarrassed anymore, but you don't. You're going to be embarrassed. You're going to look back and you're going to cringe. But it's all in good fun. And if you can enjoy the process of that, I think you're going to you're just going to feel better about it. Starry Skies, the way I do it is when I feel embarrassed, I think about the people who will see it and be inspired again. Think about how engagement doesn't matter as long as you help people try something new. Cringe doesn't exist if you don't judge. I hate the word cringe. A small startup I watched became a literal webtoon star. Yeah. That is honestly great advice, Starry Skies. Thank you. I don't know what she does anymore. Hey, she was on they were on webtoons, that's great. But yeah, like the beautiful thing about this stuff is, yeah, some people may not like it, but I can guarantee there is going to be, at first, maybe just a few people who like it, but you're going to find people who enjoy the same things you do. You're going to find a community, and they're the ones who are going to lift you up. Like, legitimately, it took me, I've been doing Philly Art Dad as a platform for 1.5 years. It's going to be 2 years in October. Will be my 2-year anniversary of doing Philly Art Dad. And I put off streaming for the longest time. I did not want to do any kind of lives just because it felt too raw. It wasn't scripted enough. Like, all of my videos were scripted, and I had, like, yes, this is how it is. Here's the storyboard. Here's the script. Here's how every video is going to be. But at some point, I was just like, I need to just let go of that insecurity and say, fuck it. And that's why we're doing the lives. Like, yeah, are these lives polished in any way, shape, or form? No. But, I enjoy it. And it gets me talking to you guys who I would not have talked with otherwise. And it's honestly opened up a lot of communication with the community. I've gotten more followers through my live content. It feels sometimes like than my actual videos I put out. And I'm okay with that. So, all I can say is put yourself out there. But don't do it for anyone else. Do it for yourself. That's, I think, the biggest piece of advice I got for that. Hell yeah. All right. I can't remember. I can look at us. Glad to meet you that way. Awesome. Appreciate it. I do appreciate those kind words very much. Like I said, I'm happy. I am happy to be a force of good here in the art space. Um, it's fun. Like I said, we were talking about gatekeeping earlier in like the creative spaces, like keeping people out because like, oh, you're not an artist. But like, I also feel like it's important not to gatekeep these creative spaces because that's what makes them so inhospitable. That's what make people like yourself embarrassed to post. Um, so, like I said, to just retread old topics again, do it for yourself. Post, post the silly videos. Post your writing. Post the stuff you like and put it out into the world. Are you are there going to be haters and people who just don't want to genuinely interact? Yeah. But from my experience, um, the people who are the most vocal are the people who are going to have your back. So yeah, fuck the rest of them. Do what you love to do, and do that. I keep the gold foil. Oh, is the gateway? It's like if you don't use it, fuck them. Yeah, I would. I don't use gold foil. I hate like I know it. I would love to do it, but the price of entry for like true foil is insane. I personally like I've used Stuart Semple's heavy metals. I love these things. They're so vibrant. Like I actually it's hard to tell because I put a matte medium over the current circle, so it's not getting as vibrant right now. I might put one more in before I actually varnish everything. There you have like I did the copper for like the reds. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, the heavy metal paints were not super cheap, but better than the foil and four different types of metals right here. Um, Copper, gold, silver, and black gold. Culture Hustle, if you want to get them. Super highly recommend it. I enjoy them. They are a pricier metallic paint, but they're definitely the best metallic paint I have used. So, yeah. Yeah. Do not let your mother throw out your metallic paints. Dear God, please don't. But yeah. Keep that shit locked up in a safe. Yeah. I want the sun. I'm just sitting at my desk with a gun in my hand, wearing a bulletproof vest. Time goes by, you know you're gonna die by the end of the night. So, Yes. Hi, a baby girl. Think what this cloak is missing is texture. Like this is the Reaper character, and it's supposed to be like a little more ragged. So I think I gotta really amp up the texture I'm trying to get. All right, guys, it is quarter to quarter to 8 here in my time, which means I've got a little guy who's going to be going to bed shortly. So we're going to pause the stream. I will be back. The stream is definitely not over. So hang out, chat amongst yourselves, and I will be back. Pigeon. So keep it locked in, and I will talk to you in just a bit. And we're back. Sorry for that. Like I said, little man goes down to bed, and I have to go and say goodnight. Jack D15 over on TikTok. Thanks for joining in the stream over there. Happy to have you. TikTok has kind of died down, so if you got anything to say, let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts. Just what you doing tonight? I feel like we're definitely getting towards the latter half of the stream where it just becomes us chit chatting about what's going on, which is all good. I'm here for it. If you guys got nothing to say, I also just sing along. I got the music going on. Say anything. I got say anything on right now. So love that. Twitch, you guys have gone quiet over there. Scoot you out of the way. Checking in on Twitch. I know we had a entire raid coming in, but you guys are going silent on me. I'm hoping that the chat hasn't just gone dead on me. Also, this is the regularly scheduled reminder that if you have not done so, your follow, just give me a follow on any and all platforms is super appreciated. I have returned with breakfast for dinner. Fantastic, low base guy. Glad to have you back. I was worried things over in Twitch land were a little silent on me, so just wanted to check in on you guys. Yeah. Creator dashboard. I'm glad to see I'm still getting messages in OBS because I was kind of worried. I had it happen a few streams ago where I was getting none of my YouTube comments in OBS, and I got real paranoid about that. Chat naturally lulls at times. It increases you. I get that. I think I was more so concerned about it being a technical thing and my ineptitude with OBS, but glad to hear it is just me being paranoid. Oh, man. All right, cool. Happy to see that in there. 2 viewers. Fantastic. But yeah, if anyone is brand new to the stream, no matter if you're on Twitch, YouTube, or TikTok, like I said, if you like what you see, I'd appreciate the follow or the sub, depending on the platform you are viewing on. It helps me out. It helps the algorithm know what's what. Trying to make strides on all platforms. Like working on 30 followers over on Twitch. Like trying to get towards that 500 subscribers over on YouTube. Currently sitting at 335. So any subscribers over on YouTube will be appreciated. And we're aiming for, I think, 1,500 as a good goal on TikTok. Part of me wants to say 5,000. I feel that's lofty. I see everybody posting on TikTok about like doing the trend. And it's like, oh, I'm just so-and-so trying to get this and I need 5,000 subscribers by hopefully doing it by the end of the month. And it's like, takes off something crazy. So that's cool. I don't know how often that actually works or people are just BSing. But hey, like I said, though, any and all kind of interactions and followers are appreciated. Don't we have the affiliate push room in Discord? If you're not on Twitch affiliate, you can post your stream there and let people know what you still need. That's awesome. Yeah, I know I need at least 50 followers. That's the right term for Twitch. And I'm almost there. Like I'm at 21. But I also know I need a lot more in the other departments. I need like consistent views. I need to do X number. I got to check what I need for the affiliate, but I will do that. I will most likely put in there. I'm having a war against deer flies right now. Let me just personally say, fuck the fly population as a whole. I hate summer. Always find their way. Like that is, we have an old Philly house, and we have like a bunch of little cracks every night here and there, and like they always find their damn way in, and I fucking hate it. Yeah. Fuck the fly population as a whole. You need a dick. Like, hate. But I hear that. I have my defense candle. That's good. My fly swatter just fucking broke recently, so I got to get a new one. Not before taking down like a bunch of them. Outside candles make me happy. Yeah. On the plus side, I don't have any issues with flies in the studio. Um, Small saving graces. But, oh my god, yeah. Don't have any issue. Like something got auto modded. Smart detection. Allow. We'll post it to chat. There we go. No clue why they got auto modded. Low base guy over on Twitch. But yeah, get the elect. Talk shit. Get the elect. Yep. I can tell you the surest way to get followers on Twitch is to visit other people's streams. Twitch is community over content. When you show up for other people, engage with the chats, they and their chats tend to reciprocate. I've been streaming almost 9 years, and still at a minimum 90 to 95% of my follows occur when I'm not streaming. Yep. I think that is something I need to find the time to do legitimately. Like, I definitely agree with that concept. Especially it works on TikTok too. Like, I have definitely, I think in recent history, gotten more follow. Like, lives have been awesome. And that's definitely, I think, putting a name to a face and seeing the actual personality has been great. So, like, the streaming in general, no matter the platform, is good. But I think when I follow more people on a platform, they're more apt to check out my platform, see what I'm about. Um, so, yeah, I agree with that concept wholeheartedly. And it's not just TikTok or Twitch, it is the entirety of social media. Like, and I think that goes back to what you're saying earlier. Creatives understand creatives the best. So when we show up for each other, especially on these things, that's how we build as a community. So, absolutely agree. Yes, engaging with streams again. Absolutely, that too. Sorry, I didn't. Sorry for boiling it down to a very basic thing. Not my intention, but yeah. But at least for Twitch, I know I need to actually pull up the Twitch app more often and tune in for streams. Like, I'm finding trouble like with just genuinely the time of doing it. Like, I got my own, not even my own stream to worry about, just like I've got the paintings I need to work on for gallery shows. I've got all this other stuff. My brain is like, you need to do this. And definitely watching these other streamers should be a part of, I think, that like creative process, because it does help grow the community and it helps other people in the community too. So yeah, I think it's just I gotta add it into my rotation. When I'm at work, I have Twitch on my phone and my Bluetooth, and occasionally I just lean over and say something. That's a great idea. I should probably do that. I end up honestly putting on like music because that gets me in the zone when I'm working, and I think I gotta switch there. Or I do occasionally will listen to what I have one of my audio dramas on. Like I'm currently loving Old God. I love Old Gods of Appalachia. I'm on season 5 right now, and so good. I love that stuff. Because I think that's for me, like that kind of stuff helps me focus. So, but I should actually like just like I said, throw Twitch on my phone while I'm painting, and just occasionally pop in, and say hi. So I'm gonna have to give that a try and put that into my general rotation of content to consume during painting sessions. Because I sure shit ain't doing it while I'm watching my little guy. Uh, that requires laser focus and nothing else can happen. Stars guys going on the AI sites and making the bots take therapy is my favorite hobby. Change for any. Is that a really ethical use of AI? And I don't mean that in like, hey, that's bad. Why are you using that? It feels mean to the AI. Like for once I care about the AI's feelings, even though I really don't. That's good. I like that. Make the AI give each other therapy. That is intriguing. I don't think I would have ever done that. Yeah, well, seeing two AI bots talk to each other is pretty hilarious. Spicy chat. No, no, I do not want. I don't care if androids dream of electric sheeps. I definitely don't want to know what they think about in their other kinds of spicy dreams. That's not something we need. Bullying AI is my favorite. Bullying AI is fun. I like bullying the AI proponents. If I can make people. I love posting what, quite frankly, and just end up being AI rage bait videos, and people like, "Well, you're not a real artist," and I'm like, "Bitch, please." If that's the most thing, if that's all you have to say to me, like that's your, like, well, if AI is not an artist, you're not an artist. Like, fuck you. You know, Darth Doctor Who. Hey neighbor, welcome over on TikTok. Thank you for joining. TikTok's been a little slow, so I'm so happy to have somebody over on TikTok. Warminster, hell yeah. Northeast Philly over here. So, that specific section. You want to train for weirdos? Yeah, I had the... Grew up in Warminster or the Northeast? Like I grew up in I grew up in the suburbs and then moved into Philly. Snowish facts. Yeah, over on YouTube. That's great. Yeah. I made AI art and a rich man. Ew. Yeah. I am a very much grew up in Northeast Common. Hell yeah. All right, that's not far, man. I live out on I actually live across Darth Doctor 2. I actually live across from the Tower just off the boulevard across from the Tower shopping center, the Home Depot. So yeah, that's very familiar to me. You're not that far up. 2013. AIR has come a long way since 2013. But I get that. I definitely think of the early stages of AI art. It was definitely a really interesting concept. Like, legitimately. Yeah, Neighbor is right, man. But yeah, Starry Skies over on YouTube. Yeah. AR back in 2013 when it was like first, like this really weird, nebulous thing of like, thank you, Darth Doctor Who, for the follow over on TikTok and the likes. Much appreciated. it was very unassuming at the time, and I don't think we understood what we were getting into with AI art. Obviously, now that we know a lot more about AI art and the training of the models on, thank you for the gifts, Darth Vector, dude. Hell yeah! Are you're gonna get my goal of the 20 lightning bolts. You absolute mad lad. Thank you, Darth Doctor Who. Super appreciated. Met and exceeded the goal. Very much appreciate the gifts. Oops. Oh, you went to go for 20 and you did 21. I'll take the extra. It's the tip. Super appreciate it. Very much. Thank you for the gifts, Darth Doctor Who over on TikTok. Um, awesome, man. Low base guy over on Twitch. I think the only real crime of AI is the same as the crime of any other piece of technology. It's a magnifying glass for human nature. Good people will use it to do great things. Bad people will use it to do terrible things, and most of us will find ourselves somewhere in. That's honestly it's a very pragmatic approach to it. I think you're generally right. I definitely think AI as a tool it has its uses. Obviously, my stance on AI, for example, translators our community uses to bring people together, use AI to do their work. Using AI right now to communicate with you because I still don't have the full use of both hands. That's awesome. Absolutely. I think that is, again, AI as a tool is amazing. It's definitely brought about some really amazing developments. Obviously my focus is in the art world of AI and the generative AI to create these images based off of the work of actual working artists, which sucks. And over on TikTok, Dark Doctor Who mentioned AI art is about to get beat up by Disney and Universal. Yeah, obviously, I noticed some recent AI art news. Disney and Universal have stepped in the chat because people have been making AI trailers of their stuff based off of that were trained on the styles of classic Disney, Universal animated stuff. Yeah, and it's like I hate that it took these mega corporations to step in because like there was already work by some amazing artists, Adam Ellis, Kelly McKernan, who were doing a lot of the footwork already for actual artists, not corporations, to do that stuff. I'm happy, asterisk, that Disney and Universal are stepping up to help the fight of AI and generative AI, specifically in the art world. But I just hate that the other, like the smaller creators, are getting overshadowed by that now. I got a lot of comments going on, but all three platforms. Over on YouTube, sorry guys, are you real if you can't spit a loogie off your porch and watch? I love that. Yeah, AI can't do that. AI can't spit a loogie off your porch. Because the issue is so on Twitch, low base guy, because the issue is so complex, I can't dig in and say that my stance on it is the right one. And so I respect everyone's beliefs, provided they also respect mine. That is good. I agree. Because again, I think first and foremost, AI is not going anywhere. AI is a tool and it is here to stay. And there are definitely some very good uses of AI. But like I said, it's the ones who are using it in bad faith, I think, that are the worst the worst always tend to overshadow the best. No matter what, be it in the art world, be it in the AI art world. Because like I said, a lot of the AI artists are genuinely, I know they're using it to create art. But I think what happens is I think it's how they responded, how the AI artists responded to the concept of, I'm using this new cool digital program to create art. This is amazing. And then it comes out, it's like, by the way, the AI models have been trained on a lot of other artists' styles, and it's how they respond in turn to that. Because in my opinion, these AI models are creating work based off of, not even based off of, legit ripping off the styles of other artists. So much so that in a lot of online searches, you end up seeing the AI generated image before you see the actual artist's work. And that's a huge problem to me. And they're making money off of that and not the artist. So again, that's my stance. My stance is very much AI bad in the art realm. I know AI is a tool and it's a great thing. Over on TikTok, Darth Doctor who said enhancement and style change is great, but asking AI to make Darth Vader causing problems, yeah. Last week, tonight's episode this week about I will have to check that out. That sounds awesome. I will definitely be checking that out because last week tonight is John Oliver, if I remember correctly. I always love his takes on everything. I also love the fact that he put, I think, when the first Trump administration, and they got Brent Kavanaugh on the, John Oliver. They got Brent Kavanaugh on the Supreme Court, and John Oliver did his whole bit of like, I'm putting for every new Supreme Court, I'm representing them as a dog. Jace, thank you for joining the live. I think you're looping back around, so happy to see you again. Instead of putting a dog on the John Oliver Supreme Court, they put a really bad gritty on the Supreme Court as Brent Kavanaugh, and I love that. Hello, Jace. Again, happy to have you on the stream. Darth Doctor Who on TikTok. Can we convince AI to write a code to make everything free? That would be great. I mean, that's how you make AI illegal, is have it do all these things that would actually benefit humanity. So that's how we do it. That's how we squash the AI machine. We make it do things that benefit humanity for the change and not create shitty artwork. And then it'll be banned. But then at that point in time, it's like, well, now we want it because it's actually doing good things. We'll see. Star Trek fan? I'm very light. Like old school. I was never really into old school Star Trek. Too dense for my why can't I think of it? My young brain back then when I was why can't I think of it? When like Next Generation and all that. Taming a Rat. Starry Skies is taming a rabbit and just threw a plushie at it. I don't know if that's the best way to go about taming a rabbit, but you do you. It's possible to have society without the need for it. Agreed. Yeah. But sadly, that's not the way the ruling class of corporations view it. And they're going to keep us in this very definitive capitalistic society we have going on right now. Though I do love the news. Like, I know it doesn't directly affect me now, but seeing Zoran Mamdani win the New York Democratic primary, that's hopeful. We'll see how that works. Yeah, unless we make AI fix it. But yeah. We will see. Like I said, I agree. I think AI is a fantastic tool, but it needs to have serious regulations in place to actually work with. So chill and I fed it and they... Oh, that's cool. I do not have any little animals living in my backyard because I live in the city. I have a tiny ass backyard. But that is pretty cool. So hopefully hopefully it didn't take too poorly to you throwing a plushie at it, Starry Skies. So you're bring absolutely. Give me a second. I'm putting a layer of color wash onto this one portion. And give me 2 seconds, Doctor Who, and I will do just that. don't want to just lift it up in all like the paint because I do thin layers, and I don't want to just slide off. So bear with me. Oh, and thank you for the community fest, Darth. Dude, that's so appreciated, dude. You're rocking it tonight. I very much appreciate you. But first off, painting. It's a long one, so I'm trying to like get it all in frame for you. I think you missed out when we were talking about this. Is for a show I have coming up in September. It's called As Above, So Below. No general like, hey, it's got to have these specific things in it. It's just the concept is it's awesome. Thank you so much. The painting has to be viewed essentially two different ways because halfway through the show, they open up. They actually go through the entire show, and flip all the paintings around. So yeah, exactly the yin yang concept. So this one, obviously, this is the one way, and then they'll flip it over, and you'll see it this way for the other half of the show, or whichever one they decide to do first. It is such a cool concept. It's the second time I'm actually doing this show with Arch Enemy Arts here in Philly. I like the synth. I don't know why. I'm assuming the synth you're talking about the microphone. Yeah. I bought it and I thought it was I can switch the RGB to make it like solid colors, but it just rotates. I'm okay with it. Light dark thing. Not necessarily light dark with it. I generally just had a story concept of a death character and someone who is dying. In this case, it's this figure with the swords in their back. I decided to make them royalty. So the name of the show again is As Above, So Below. Like I said, it's at Arch Enemy Arts. It's here in Philly. So I had the general concept that I wanted to do something with the Grim Reaper character. So I had that concept first, and then it was just a matter of like, okay, who is the other character going to be? I had this concept generally, like the rough idea of this figure. One was a Grim Reaper, and one was essentially handing their heart over to the Grim Reaper in a, hey, this is the act of dying. And then it developed into like, okay, this character is actually royalty. And this character has been stabbed in the back. I made it a point to have 3 different types of swords. So I have like a standard English long sword. I have more of a Celtic style. I want to say it's a sax. I think that's how you pronounce it, Seax, and a more a Middle Eastern saber to show kind of this like. How many am I putting? I'm only doing one. It's a group show. So I'm only putting one piece into this show. So there's going to be a bunch of us. So yeah, over on Twitch. I'm heading out for now. Visit one more stream before bed. Have a nice night, Low Base Guy. Thanks for raiding and popping in. Much appreciated. I would definitely put my hat in at the affiliate chat to hopefully get that going, because yeah, I would love to get Twitch up and running and do more of the affiliate stuff. Back over on Twitch, yeah. What is your Jay saying on TikTok? What's your most favorite art piece you ever made? Ooh, that's a good one. It always ends up being like the one I'm working on at the moment, where like, oh, this is my new favorite piece of art. I've had some good ones. Like, I pulled it out earlier, and I'll bring it over. Actually, I pulled it out, and I didn't hang it back up. This piece from 2018 was really cool. It was definitely a step forward in what I was doing. It was a lot more of my earlier work. Doing more like what I would call like these mushroom bouquets, mainly because I didn't want to paint flowers, and I liked mushrooms. So these were cool. So this was a cool one, but obviously my style and my subject matter has changed so much over the past couple of years. I had a solo show at Arch Enemy Arts. Thank you, Jace. Where like the centerpiece painting, that was a really fun piece to do. I just did for a gallery show down in New Mexico with Stranger Factories, the gallery down there. It was a circus themed show, and I would have never done a circus themed work, but that was fun. So I did a sword swallower and the two-faced man. I don't have those with me because they were at the gallery, though you can go to I do have a website. Luckily enough, I was going to actually prompt that next. Yeah, website is it's actually in the link in my bio because I have that. So over on, no matter what platform you are on, TikTok, YouTube, or Twitch, just go to my bio or my About Me section, and there just should be a bio site link. And that'll take you there. That has all my socials. That has my website. It has my affiliate links for like all like the books I have in my art library and that. But yeah, website portfolio is there. It is just, or you can just go to michaelweaverart.com. That is my website. It's just my name, Michael Weaver Art, because I'm an artist.com. But yeah, some really cool pieces. And like I said, I definitely feel like I'm in that, like, this new one is my new favorite. Because, like, this one, I'm fucking loving this. This is so cool because it's been a progression of where I am at as an artist and what I've been developing. And it's just those next steps in my creative evolution. But yeah, like I said, it's only one piece for that show. Arch Enemy Art's only ever, for like their group shows, they only do like, hey, we just want a piece, but they're very like, hey, it has to be within this price range. So that's something that they do. Lady Day joined on TikTok. I'm happy to see TikTok picking up again, guys. You are awesome. I'm glad I stayed on and didn't close down the TikTok stream. So much appreciated for you guys coming through on the second and latter half of this stream. Thank you for the likes, Lady Day. What's the price range for the work on? So I think this one, I have it priced out at $990. I have a whole like formula I have in an Excel spreadsheet where I just like, here's the height, here's the width, and the Excel spreadsheet does the rest. So it's just shy of $1,000. I think that's reasonable for like where I am at as an artist. I'm probably the most affordable artist, one of the most affordable artists at Arch Enemy, because there are people who will do the same stuff, like same size work, and it's going to be like a $2,000 piece of artwork or more. So I'm not trying to be like, you can buy my art because I'm more reasonable. I get it. Art is a commodity, and not everyone can afford that luxury, which is why I need to work better on getting prints, because my God. But yeah, case in point, like I said, there's only one piece for this show at Arch Enemy, but like the Stranger Factory show in New Mexico, they actually requested like a small body of work. So like 2 to 12 paintings. That's why I did 2 for Stranger Factory. Yeah. Yeah. And like, I'm not going to like, I absolutely understand that. Like I've seen a lot of people like art is a luxury. Not necessarily that the act of making art is a luxury. Anyone can make art. That is something I stand by. But definitely buying art is a luxury. I don't even buy that much original art. I want to. It's just not feasible to afford it sometimes, especially like when I have some really amazing art friends and they do some really cool shit, but they've been doing it for like years and they've got a lot of recognition and I can't afford it. Which is why I love prints. Prints are awesome. I would love to buy original work, but sometimes if you can buy a print, that is also a great way to support artists. Which is, again, I have a few prints actually on my online shop, linked at, again, link in my bio. You can also, so if you're on my website, there's a link at the very top that says shop. So I have a few prints over there. Darth Doctor Who, you're making my night, man. Seriously. Thank you. Very much appreciated. I'm just sketching. Jace on TikTok said, "Wow, I'm just sketching while listening to this guy. Good combo. I'm glad. I'm glad my dulcet tones are providing a good background. I'm sorry, that was weird. I'm not going to do that. But no, I appreciate it. I'm glad that I can be the background vocals to your sketching night, Jace. Super appreciated. Yeah. Starry Skies dual wielding fly swatters put you in a fight or flight. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. I know that. I know that all too well, Starry Skies. You get them. You get those, I forget what kind of flies you said. Deer flies. Yeah. Fuck them up. Yeah, new POV. I'm assuming you are coming from YouTube. Because I see I can't pronounce the username there. I want to say, I feel so bad. Jude? Again, please tell me if I'm pronouncing the name wrong, but happy to have you. Yeah. We get a different POV here on TikTok from Twitch and YouTube because OBS, which is my streaming software I use to stream to Twitch and YouTube, doesn't like TikTok apparently. Or the other way around. I don't. Yes. Yay. Welcome to TikTok. Yeah, OBS doesn't like TikTok, so it really likes to lag everything. So I just do a completely separate but simultaneous stream here on TikTok. So you get a slightly different POV. I got a little more control over that, the angle, so you can at least see a little more. But happy to have you here as well. I'm sure I have done that as well, Darth Doctor Who. And again, I know I've said it before, Darth. Thank you for the gifts. It truly means a lot as somebody who is, even though I'm going on my second year of doing TikTok and social media and trying to make a little bit of a living out of it. These gifts, like whatever they are always appreciated, and it genuinely makes me feel awesome when I see those pop up. SYLSB, you're gonna have to enlighten me. You're gonna have to enlighten me what SYLSB means. Support your local ska band. Nice. Weirdly enough, actually, like, Streetlight Manifesto is actually playing in the background right now. That's funny. Yeah, support your local arts. Appreciated. Very, very much appreciated with that. Yeah. Oh, man. 2.5 hours. Hell yeah. I think we're going to go for at least 3 hours tonight. Because I was feeling solid with the 3-hour stream last week. So, save Ferris, I think. Okay. You don't know where I've been. I definitely feel like over on Twitch, he's left for the night. Low Base guy was saying, it's like one of the things that creatives need to, like, we gotta, especially like if you're, I don't know if you are a creative, Darth Doctor Who, but it's like we gotta support each other in this kind of weird thing. I do Lego TikToks and some travel stuff. Nice. I'm looking for, like I said, I got I don't know, like you may have picked up, but I got a little dude, 3 years old. hasn't really gotten into the Lego stage yet. Um, but I'm intrigued to see what he does. He's in his Hot Wheels era right now, and we love that. So we got a bunch of tracks, that kind of stuff. So I absolutely love it. Um, I do. I am excited whenever he gets a little older because I was never. I did Legos a little bit, of course. I might. He has enough Duplo. We got donated a bunch of Duplo from his cousin. Um, he just barely touches it. He's not at that stage of like actually connecting right now. It's just. Would you mind if I join? As in join the live? I assume you mean. I don't know how to do that. But I will say, like, he's not very much into the construction of Duplos yet. He likes the noise they make when they dump out, and then I end up having to clean them up. But I also have all my old connects from when I was a dude, um, little guy, and my mom still has them all. So I'm excited for like whenever he gets into that kind of stuff because I have that. I am looking forward to do potentially doing Lego with him, like legitimately. If he wants to do that, I'm not gonna force the kid to like anything. I don't want to be the parent who just forces you got to like this thing because I like this thing. That feels weird. I don't know. Like I would much rather have love for him. 4 to 5 is good. Yeah, that makes more sense. Like I said, he's 3, and we were just given to it by my sister, um, because her kid, who's like, God, he's gonna be 7 next month, is into Lego now. Talking about liking things your parents do. Yes. What do you got to say, Star Skies, over on YouTube? 'Cause I know one of the things, like, I know my wife and I have talked about it, because, like, and Darth Doctor Who, I assume, will also build it front, yeah, front with him. That makes sense. I was using a. Nice. Um, the storytelling, not the building. So Legos are a bit early. Yeah. That's my wife jumping in on TikTok, by the way, providing some dad lore about the little dude. But coincidentally enough, like one of the things, like I think Darth Doctor Who, you'll appreciate this, like because obviously, like if you're in Warminster and from the Philly area too, like I feel like anyone who, yeah, anyone who kind of grew up even remotely near Philly, if your parents were that, and even other, not even just Philly, just like if your parents were sports fans, you had to be, a lot of like that generation was like, oh well, here, like this sports team that I do too. And yes, scope. I think you mean Go Birds instead of Sco Birds, but I get it. Yeah, like I'm an Eagles fan. Hell yeah. Am I an Eagles fan because my father was an Eagles fan before me? Absolutely. But I love football. But I think the important thing was not necessarily that I liked the team that he liked, but Scobirds. Oh yeah, no, Scobirds. I get it. Thank you. Sorry, it's also getting late, and I'm like the actual like speech cognition is running low. It's not that I liked watching the Eagles because my dad liked them, so I felt obligated to. I enjoyed watching the Eagles because I enjoyed doing this thing with my dad, and it was something that we bonded over. And I want to make sure that I do the same thing for my dude. Like, do I want him to like the Eagles and go to games with me? Yes. but only if he wants to. And I only want it to be because he enjoys doing things with you. Yeah, it's time with family and community. Absolutely, that is exactly what it is. I don't want him to feel like he feels obligated to like the team. I joke with my wife because I know she's on. I might get a little judgy if he decides to like a team. Like he can like other teams. I might get judgy if he wants to be a Cowboys fan. Yeah, I might get judgy then. I might be like, look, do what you do, but just do not put me through. And I can tell. I don't even need to. I don't even need to see her. I know for the fact my wife is probably in the other room shaking her head right now. Over on YouTube, sorry, Starry Skies, I'm not ignoring you. That's when you get the ball and you throw it and you try not to. Yeah, I mean, we are actually doing it. Like he actually is definitely intrigued in sports as a thing. Like we have a football we throw around. We got the little like he's too young for a baseball glove, but we have like the little plastic discs with the Velcro and the tennis balls, and we play catch every now and then like that. Um, for frisbee, yeah, yep. It's I had an Emmett Smith jersey in the '90s to piss off my dad. I'm assuming you meant piss off. Yeah, yep, piss. I get that. TikTok kicked you off also for earlier for looking up my bio. It's all good. Thanks for coming back then. Yeah. No, it's not Emmett. Look, I will give credit. Like Emmett Smith is a good. He was like a legendary player. God, Starry Skies, come on. Like I'm not gonna hate. No, that's a lie. I'm gonna hate some players. But I feel like my hatred of other players generally extends to their mentality. Never wore it, but I did like the player. Wanted him on the Eagles. Agreed. Emmett Smith, I think, was a genuinely good guy. I didn't know too much about what he did, um, as like a player and like a personality, but I've never heard anything bad about Emmett Smith because, like, I'm not gonna lie, being an Eagles fan, I am spoiled as with having a team of amazing individuals. Like I love the autism awareness they do, which is great. I love all the community generated stuff the Eagles do. So that's honestly one of the big things. Like this is why I love my team. All this community outreach they do. So, like I said, I think that's also another driving factor of how I judge other players that are not on the teams that I like. Baseball True and Red 40 True. Hell yeah. Big League Chew. It's Big League Chew, Starry Skies. Big Red. Is that the gum? Is that the cinnamon flavored gum? And Red 40, does Gatorade still have Red 40 Starry Skies on YouTube? I don't know. But like I will say with like players that I'm like I didn't like and which made me kind of hate their team. Like the Patriots are the easy they're an easy team to hate just because like the mentality. I gotta go find some dinner, see you around. Thank you for joining in, Darth Doctor Who. Thank you for the gifts. Again, it truly means a lot. Thank you for the follow and everything. Thank you for all the likes. I hope to see you back on the streams again. You've been amazing to chat with, and thank you for the rose as a parting gift. Have a nice night, man. Again, so happy to have you on the stream and chat with you tonight. Have a nice night. Oh man, we're closing in on that 3 hour mark, and like I got the AC on, but I'm getting like sweaty just sitting in this chair. Probably more information. I sound so old. I'm 20. You're 20. Eh, we're not getting any younger. I'm sold. It's sold a baseball place. Okay. Best though. I had like I had a solid baseball collection growing up. And then I kind of just felt like baseball cards are cool. But then I got like into like Magic the Gathering. It's like I can actually collect cards and actually use them and they don't just fucking sit there in a binder. Sick. But yeah, again, things like I got into going back, like things I got into because of my parents. Like my dad was a huge baseball card collector, and he'd take me to baseball card shows, and like that's how I enjoyed that stuff. But again, I don't think it was. It had nothing to do about liking the thing that he liked. It was about doing the thing with him. Yeah, binders. I did have a fucking stamp collection. That was weird. That was a phase I went through. I also had a penny collection. I still do somewhere. Stamps are cool. They're little mini pieces of art. Though I hate how they've gone up in price so much. I do wish there's only one set of stamps that I wish I bought, and I don't think they make them at all anymore. And that was like they came out with a Dungeons and Dragons set of stamps, and it was cool, really amazing. Like all together, they made this awesome scene. But again, the problem with that, what do you fucking do with it? They just take up space. I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with the stamp collect. Like that was kind of why I fell out. Like my hobbies are things that I can actually use. The more money I give the poster, the better my. There you go. Yeah, I don't know what your uncle does, so maybe. But like I think that's like my hobbies have definitely moved away from like collecting a certain thing to what can I do that's interactive with that thing. So like I'm huge into like TTRPGs. I have a bunch of like TTR like role playing books, RPG books, board games, a bunch of mini war game. Take stamps, clear plastic, and yeah, you have to. That's all you can do. That's why I got into like board games and other nerd shit because I can actually play with the things I collect instead of just hoarding them away. Though I do need to find time to play. So that's the only other problem with that. But yeah, collecting things is weird. I like it. Like I technically have a collection of art, and it does just hang on the wall. So that's a collection. But at least it's on the wall, and I can look at it on the regular instead of hoarding it away somewhere. And if I want to look at it, I gotta pull it out of wherever it's hiding. So, like, no shade to people who actually collect, like, genuinely collect things for the love of it. I'm just like, I don't know what, yeah. I just don't know what you do with that stuff. Like, come on. I get it. Like I said, that's like I think that's when I found out about like Magic the Gathering as a thing, and I was like, oh, this is cool. I can still collect cards, but I can play this neat game with them. So, gotta love that. Yeah. All right. Yes. All right. All right, guys. We're just shy of that 3 hour mark, but this Grim Reaper is looking good. I need to get into some better functioning AC because I am just starting to feel kind of gross. But again, thank you all for joining in on the chat tonight. Appreciate all of you, whether you sent a gift, you liked, you followed. This is your end of stream reminder that if you have not done so already, make sure to follow me on not only the platform that you're currently viewing this, But on all platforms, you can find them in the link in my bio: Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Find me there. And I hope to see you in chat again later. Good night, starry skies. Thank you for coming on. Thank you, everyone. Jace, I think you're still on over in TikTok land. But yeah. Thanks again. Have a nice night. And stay weird, art kids. Later.